Also messages in there. But you get to read them. Good morning. I think I'm on. Let me get my text to speech working, and then we're ready to roll. Radio's on. Oh, let's put this on. Okay. Speakers on. Let's see what else we got here. There we go. There we go. Good morning.
6448 says, "Good morning, Craig."
Good morning. Hey, Holly, you won the contest. You should be very proud. You were the earliest date, so you won. All right, let's see. I think we're good. I think I'm good with that. I think we're ready to roll. So we have 3 deliveries today. We're starting a little late. This is what normally I'd be. Yeah, we're like 2 hours behind. Good thing is we'll have sunshine the whole time. Well, not sunshine, but sun. Brightness. Let's not call it sun.
Containment-Q7L says, "Good morning, y'all. Looks like you are getting snow too."
Yeah, it stopped. It actually stopped when I came in this morning.
6448 says, "Good morning at Nigel."
Good morning. Where's Nigel? I didn't see hers. Yeah, it actually stopped a little earlier than I think they originally predicted. So
333 says, "In chat. Snowstorm shifted and now prolonged. We were supposed to get 7 to 15. At Hala 6448 says, "Good morning, Mountain Man."
yeah, we were supposed to get 3 to 6, and I think we're probably in like the 4-inch range. It's not that bad here. I know you're going to get it a lot worse up there. Now the roads here look really good. There's like one section I'm a little worried about because this is Carroll County, and they take care of the roads very, very well. But when we get down to Baltimore County, sometimes it's not so good. There was actually an accident. I saw an accident all the way up. This car, most of that roadway is straight, so it's you don't really have to worry about turning, sliding, but it's kind of hilly. But there's one turn. Well, there's a couple mild turns, but there's one, and this car like went right into a telephone pole. I don't know if it'll still be there when we go by. Probably not.
Q7L says, "G morning Hala."
So we'll see if that car is still there.
6448 says, "I lost power several times, but just came back as Craig went live."
Oh, you did lose power? I didn't lose power. I did see a giant blue-green flash in the sky, and there were some traffic lights out on the road, so I think some transformers blew up. But fortunately, my house, I did not lose power. How long were you out? Hopefully not too long. Yeah, this isn't bad at all. The roadway up here is not bad at all. I did all my shoveling this morning, so it had almost stopped. So I was shoveling snow at like 4:30, and it was just really, really light snow, and then it pretty much came to an end. And I think it's going to be above freezing today, maybe, or right at freezing. So hopefully that will not, we won't have a freezing issue.
"6448 says, "The last one was over 2 hours, I think. Hopefully it will stay on now.
Yeah. That's very annoying when electricity goes out. This snow is really wet. I mean, you can see it's like clings to everything. It's pretty. This is it, though. I think they're predicting snow later this week, maybe, but we're not going to get it. This is it. It's the last storm of the year. The other thing about this snow is it was icy underneath the snow. I guess because yesterday when it started snowing, it was still warm enough to kind of melt a little bit. So when it froze up overnight, so like cleaning off the car and stuff was definitely more difficult because you couldn't just brush the snow off. It was kind of underneath, it was kind of ice. I don't know what the traffic's going to be like today. I'm trying to figure out whether I want to go down the expressway or whether I want to go down the business route. Normally, this time of day, I wouldn't get on the expressway just because it's the morning commute time is kicked in. But I don't know if that's going to be the case today. All right, now what happens is right after this road groups up here, we're going to go into Baltimore County, and you will see it. Usually, you'll see a difference in the way the road is plowed. Yeah, the sign is completely covered with snow, but now we're in Baltimore County. So see how the road is a little bit less clear. So this morning when I came up, it was a lot less clear.
It says can't even here.
Good morning. Yeah, you're going to get a nasty storm. See, we didn't really get the wind either. I was surprised. I was out shoveling this morning. I thought it was going to be real windy, and it wasn't. Thank goodness. Yeah, we lucked out on this one.
Sean White says wicked windy here.
Yeah, I think I heard them talking about like 50, 60 mile an hour winds, gusts. I mean, I don't think it'll be steady at 60 miles an hour, but that's pretty bad. We have these areas along this section of the road. There's a
Plus 6448 says good morning Sean, same here. Stay safe and warm.
Yeah, you're going to get like 2 feet of snow, right? Isn't that what they're saying? That's crazy. In New York.
Sean White says 55 minus 65 miles per hour winds 18 to 24 inches of snow.
I think New York's getting the same thing. Way back when, back in my career working days, I was in the financial. Thank you very much for that. I was in the financial industry, and like a day like today, it'd be kind of cool because New York's going to be kind of slow. Of course, back then they didn't really. They all rode the subway.
6448 says maybe a little less snow. At Sean White says can't DoorDash. If I wanted to lol, DoorDash shut down.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Wow.
Plus 6448 says but after 15 I am not sure if it matters.
Oh, it matters if you're shoveling it, don't you think? When it gets up into the 2-foot range, you know, it gets to a certain level and all of a sudden you can't like shovel from the ground up. You gotta shovel halfway, move it, and then the rest. You gotta do it like in 2 levels or 3 levels, depending. At least that's the way I do it. Fortunately, we had the one storm. We had the one storm that was pretty bad. Hopefully people are at the restaurants that I'm delivering to. That's the only reason I'm late today, because they called and said they weren't opening. Like the places that open normally at 6.
Plus 6448 says same here. The shut did at 8:30 and travel banned from 9 last night till at least noon today.
And then are you going to be cold again for a couple, like 2 more days, today and tomorrow, before you go back above freezing? I think that's what's happening here. So it's not like it's going to melt right away. This would be good snowman snow. Really good snowman snow. Snowballs, snowmen. Be very good for that.
Hollis 6448 says yes, it does matter for shoveling.
What are they doing shoveling the roadway? That lady. She's out in the street. Sean, are you going to have to shovel? Oh, you got to jump into some snow, by the way. Do you shovel or do you pay some neighborhood kid to shovel?
Sean White says yeah, this afternoon I'll be live streaming that. Sean White says I shovel steps and walkway, have a guy to plow driveway.
That's good. I shovel the whole thing. Driveway is the worst part. I mean, the most difficult, especially when the plow goes by and you get the crusty stuff at the end of the driveway. Yeah, I bet it looks nice. It's like the Christmas card type of snow. Going very slow for this roadway. I guess that there's a truck up there in front of this line of traffic that's going very slow. Doesn't look like a plow though. All right, what do we want to do? Highway or business? Let's do business. Be more interesting. These road signs are covered with snow. If they're in the right direction. Sean, you were taking a vacation day today anyway, right? Like, does your office close on a day like today? Shovel, shovel, shovel. Schools are all closed. I think they decided that last night.
Sean White says we claim we are open but you can stay home using paid day off or unpaid day. We have state of emergency, no one's supposed to be working unless essential. Personal signs are not essential.
Oh, wow. So they don't want anybody on the road.
Team C says good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
At Odd Sean White says looks like my street been plowed yet.
I guess they're working on the highways and stuff. Mookie, I have to tell you, I totally enjoyed reading your comment on the on that video. Cracked me up. Should we try to pass this truck? I don't know. You know, not in a big hurry because our second stop, they told us they're not opening until 9, and that the people in the kitchen should be getting there at 8, I think.
Sean White says they probably not even out. It's so bad out there right now.
Oh, really?
At Hollis6448 says, do you think there will be any damaged signs from the storm? At Hollis6448 says, good morning Mookie. At Sean White says always hola. At Mookie C says it was from the heart, and from the hand. At Sean White says wind hurts signs.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. So I guess they do get damaged in the weather. I don't know if I want to pass this truck or not. Is it worth it? Let's do this. Perfect. Especially wind, right? I mean, the wind will knock signs down.
Team C says hello. At Hollis 6448, congratulations on your big win.
You were the closest guest, and it was March 15th, I think, right? So you were still giving it some time. I was just shocked about that whole situation. Devastated.
Sean White says to Adrian, we did it, 500 subs, let's go. At Hala6448 says thank you Mookie. Team C says I have to admit that it is a bit surreal.
Ooh, they had a little canopy over there collapsed. They have a canopy over, it's like a fruit stand, fruits and vegetables. They had some they'd set up outside the door under a canopy, and the canopy is collapsed.
At Sean White says what kind of cookies you got today.
Let's see, we've got some chocolate top cookies, which is like a sort of a bready cookie with chocolate icing sort of top, and raspberry sandwich cookies. They're pretty good sized cookies, a few of them, and then the pretty normal amount of Danish donuts, cake. Got one cake. What else do we have? Oh, and the Gourmet Girls they get something called a peanut butter tandy. I've never had one. I'm not sure what that looks like because their stuff is boxed. Probably better that I don't know what they look like because I would like to eat a peanut butter tandy. It just sounds like something I would eat. So it's pretty much a normal run, just later. This road's in pretty good shape.
6448 says I think blue and black glove-shaped cookies are called for today.
Well, in memory, I forgot to ask if they have glove-shaped cookies. I don't know if we do.
Well, 333 says how is your morning?
All good here. Very good, actually. I got all my shoveling done.
Sean White says morning NY gal.
I got a message from Jennifer at the bakery. She said you don't have to come in. Normally I get there. I actually get there before 5, but normally 5 o'clock is when I start putting stuff together. And she said, you don't have to rush in this morning. So I was able to get my shoveling done, which is kind of good because otherwise you'd be doing this and then thinking, when I get home I got to shovel, and now at least I don't have to do that.
333 says goal 150 by 230. At Sean White says does anything fall off the truck into your hand to eat? Lol.
No, I can't because
At Mookie C says isn't a glove-shaped cookie and a cookie shaped like a hand the same?
It would be. Yeah, it would be. I mean, I guess if you really got particular with the hand, you could. If it looked like a hand, that would be weird. I don't think you want to put fingernails on your cookie, or anything that even looked like a fingernail. That just wouldn't. That wouldn't be too appetizing. Look, we're going to have a Raising Cane over here on the left. They're
Sean
building
White
it.
says good luck NY gal. Door dash shit down, I can't even dash if I wanted to. Eagle 333 says thanks Og.
Storm never came. That's crazy.
Nigel 333 says storm never came last night. At Nigel 333 says all at peak 11 a.m. At Og Sean White says we getting slammed and just lost power. At Hollis 6448 says good luck at Nigel, stay safe and warm.
Yeah, stay safe out there.
Team C says stay safe out there. At Nigel 333.
Oh, look, we got snowplows coming down the other way. It's like a whole parade of them. They're not plowing.
Sean White says no power here is going to suck.
Oh, you're on your phone, right? I guess. Yeah, that's no good. Do you have backup batteries and stuff? I hope my electricity stays on too. I did see an explosion in the
Team
sky.
C says do you have a generator? At Og Sean White. Sean White says no generator or anything, damn it.
That's not good. Do you have like a backup battery that you can charge your phone with? I don't have a generator, but I do. I have like a battery thing that at least lasts for a couple of charges.
Plus 6448 says I hope it comes back soon. Sean, I had lost several times overnight. Just came back as Craig went live. Sean White says I have a power block, phone is 100% as of now, lol.
Oh, that's okay. That's good. We're working out.
Team C says we got off lucky here outside of Pittsburgh. Only a dusting of snow.
That's very lucky. Yeah, this is like an Eastern Shore type thing. Even the Eastern Shore of Maryland is getting a lot more snow than we did. All right. Backup camera.
Alice 6448 says you can charge and stay warm from car.
That's true. That is true. You could. All right, let's head in. Let's head in and get this delivery done. I can turn this around. Let's see out the back window. Do I need anything with me? No. All right, here we go. They might be open. They are. That never happens. Good morning. I am. Have you got? Oh, it's here. It's pretty weird coming in this place when they're open. I just, out of habit, I just grabbed the newspaper to keep the door open. But they're open.
Craycray says stuck behind a plow and electric truck.
I don't need the cat.
At Nigel 333 says on how much they saying. At Paula 644 says charge everything you have now that it's back. That's what I am doing.
Okay.
Sunlight says we have 55 to 65 mph, winds 18 to 24. Snow expected. Says some dust.
Got people sitting in the restaurant watching me work. It's weird. I'm telling you, it's weird.
CS2 says you. CS2 says good morning at Hala 6448.
Okay, we're done there. Thank you. How are you? I'm good. There you go. You're welcome. Have a good day. Surprised all those people are there. Dedicated employees. Lenny's. girls.
Craig 3069 says Craig, hello Craig.
Hey, Craig.
At justacat.cs2 says he Craig.
Two Craigs in the room, in the van.
And Craig 3069 says Craig, hi just a cat. At justacat.cs2 says hi at him and Craig 3069. At Auction White says weird seeing where you hide people in the van lol.
Yeah, I don't usually turn the camera around because, you know, I might have people already. A little slushy out here.
Six 448 says good morning it's him and Craig at Sibor.
Oh, we're gonna go. We're gonna go.
Cat.cs2 says wow it's beautiful out here. Looks like a winter wonderland.
It does look pretty cool, right? I like it. The way when it's wet snow like that, it stays on the trees for a little bit.
And Craig 3069 says Craig, hey holla.
This is the kind of snow that people can't really completely brush off their cars.
Cat.cs2 says where are we off to?
We are on the way to the second stop right now. So we had Lenny's, which is where we just were a second ago. And then the second stop is Gourmet Girls. And they're really the ones, like I think Lenny's probably opened up maybe an hour ago, maybe. But maybe even earlier than that. But the people at Gourmet Girls said they were not going to be there until 8 o'clock. So we kind of had to time it. We had to make that one. We had to start the trip a little later because otherwise we'd be sitting down here waiting for the Gourmet Girls to show up. And then we've got one more trip. Then we've got, you know, one more delivery after that, after What a Day. Where the gloves used to be. Normally, I would see people with snow in their cars, like you've seen all the snow in these cars, and you think, they should have cleaned their car off before they left. But it's a really icy, like the snow and ice is very difficult to get off your car. This is not an easy snow because it was melting yesterday as it was coming down, and it froze up overnight. So underneath the snow is a thick layer of ice. And that's what you're seeing on people. Of course, if you see no snow at all, then you know they have a garage. This is where you find out who has garage parking and who does not. The Gourmet Girls. They're at this bank. Good, she's there. I see her car.
Cat.cs2 says, so with this snow, the Christmas decor won't be put away till July sometime.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right. It's going to be a while.
Cat.cs2 says, lol.
Let's see what the door's open. I don't think the door's going to be open. Let's try. Oh, it is open. It's cool. Let's grab some boxes. Good. How are you? Good morning.
Michael 333 says, ah.
Giant boxes to deal with these. I don't know what they're getting in these huge boxes.
Being in bed at 8 is crazy nothing to do, lol. Michael 333 says, just got 2 French fries. And caramel chopped brewing coffee to the morning gas.
All right, have a great day, ladies. All right, 2 down, 1 to go. There we go. Sean just say, I just saw something flash up on my screen. Here we go.
Cat.cs2 says hi good morning at Reed Jones 5862. At Sean White says Reed BBBBBB.
Oh,
At Reed Jones 5862 says hi just a cat. At Reed Jones 5862 says hi Sean.
Reed, when I'm here at 6 o'clock in the morning, I go out the inn. I'm not doing that today. This
645 says stay in bed as long as you can and enjoy as much as you can.
Who's in bed? Is Reed in bed?
Sean White says I am. At Reed Jones
Sean's-
5862 says it's snowing I see.
It did. It snowed last night here. We got about 4 inches of snow, maybe. So it wasn't too bad. And it ended earlier than they thought. Like originally they were saying it was going to be snowing until like around now. Like I think they said 8 or 9 o'clock it might end. But when I got up, it was
Sean White says
pretty
that's
light.
not snow lol, that's a dusting.
It is not a lot of snow. Even for us, this is not a lot of snow. But people, it's crazy. People kind of get worked up about a little bit of snow these days.
Plus 6448 says 4 inches isn't much.
No, it's not. Look at those trees. The trees are really neat looking, I think. Wow, they're like leaning into the road. It is a very heavy. See, I think the trouble with the power lines is that,
Plus 6448 says but look at the trees.
yeah, they were like leaning into the road. I saw a transformer blow up this morning. I mean, I didn't see the transformer actually blow up, but I saw the sky like a bluish green color. It looked like lightning. And then the power went out on the street, like the street lights and all went out. So at some point, but that's been fixed because when we came down Reisterstown Road, when we came down that road, we would have passed this that I saw. It was out earlier, so they fixed that already. But we didn't get the crazy wind either. The further east you go, the worse the storm got, which is the opposite of most snowstorms. Most of the time, it's the west that gets it worse.
Plus 6448 says that's exactly what I was writing. So finding out over half my area still no power.
Wow. Yeah, that's not, I don't like it. Power goes out, it's no fun.
Team C says when you can see snow sitting on top of power wires, you know it's a heavy snow.
Yeah.
At Reed Jones 5862 says hi holla. Plus 6448 says how are you Reed?
We just went over the highway and it looks like it's pretty open. It's not backed up.
Jones 5862 says I'm good holla how about you?
I think a couple of these back roads we're going to get on in a minute are probably going to be pretty slushy. This was also the kind of snow where your windshield wipers freeze to the windshield.
Plus 6448 says so far.
A lot of people in this neighborhood have their windshield. You know how the people prop their windshield wipers up, keep them from freezing to the window? I've been seeing a lot of that on. Stop. We'll stop.
Team C says if you were unable to drive today, do they have a backup driver, Craig? Would there be no delivery?
No, if for some reason I wasn't able to make it in, Bob, it's Jen and Bob that own the bakery, so Bob would drive. I think he was doing a lot of driving before I started helping him out. This way, it's very interesting the way it works in a bakery. Like here we go. This road's gonna be a little slushy right there. Like Bob and Jen can pretty much do all of the functions inside the bakery, but you know, you've got people that there's one person that kind of focuses on making the cake batter and the icing and the fillings and all that stuff, you know. So all the mixing and stuff. There's like one person that kind of focuses a lot on that, and then another person that does most of the baking, and then another person that does decorating. They all kind of do everything. They go out and jump from spot to spot, but they kind of focus their specialty. And so you've got and they've got a couple of people there that work on the decorating cakes and stuff, and they're like artists. Pretty amazing. I'll have to take some pictures of some of the cakes they make. Made this giant birthday cake they wanted last week. And it was like a Minecraft type thing. I don't really know Minecraft, but it was like a sword that is somehow related to Minecraft. Kind of looked like Lego pieces or something, you know what I mean? It sort of had that kind of look, but anyways, they had given her a picture and said, we'd like the cake to look like this. And she did a really good job.
+644. Yes, the bakery business is no piece of cake. At UPC says if they need a full-time taste tester, let me know.
There you go. I'll tell you what, I could get in a lot of trouble if I started. And they really have they have no problem eating whatever you want to eat. Like that's the worst thing. This guy's shoveling with his boots. This is the road that doesn't feel like it's a road. Driving behind it. Here we go. Geez, this road's almost dry.
Team C says when you get started later in the day, does it change the route you take?
No, this is the same route I would have taken. I think if Gourmet Girls had been opening any later, it probably would have switched the second and the third delivery. You know, like where we're going now, I might have gone there in between, which would have changed everything around a little bit. But no, I used the same route. Now today I did go down the business road rather than I did go down the business road instead of getting on the expressway because I thought maybe there could be like the regular rush hour traffic on the highway. I don't think it probably really was, but I usually go down the expressway, particularly if it's early in the morning, like 5:30.
6448 says at least the delayed start hasn't affected traffic on a day like today.
Yeah, true. Heavy like commuter traffic. I think ever since COVID, whenever there's any challenge getting to work at all.
Lot 777 says good morning. Wow, it looks like you got more snow than I did overnight.
Yeah, I think we did. I think the further east you go, the more snow you
Sticat.cs2
get.
says glad you have internet again, holla.
We got about 4 inches. It's not a lot. But I think they were saying it could be 6 to 8 some places. I don't think we got that much anywhere near here. I don't know.
6448 says good morning, Faithfullah.
But this was cool from a drone. I wonder if it would just look white if you were looking down from the top of a tree with snow on it like this. It's pretty neat. And they don't stay this way for very long. Like all it has to do is warm up a little bit. And all these will, like that's pretty neat looking. I like trees like this.
Plus 6448 says thanks just a cat and read I was more concerned about the power and no heat. At justacat.cs2 says they look like flowers trees.
Yes, they do. We always seem to have.
6448 says it definitely looks beautiful. You should make some shorts if you get the chance.
I should pull some pieces out of this. Realize that, but on the right-hand side of the road there, you can tell it was like a whole area covered with bamboo. Yeah, this is really pretty neat looking.
Cat.cs2 says wow.
That's a reservoir that we're going over. It looks like the water on the reservoir is frozen over, which wouldn't surprise me because we were so cold for. And I see a couple spots where it's open. This bridge is so bad.
Cat.cs2 says, so this is what the bridge looks like during the day.
Yeah, we haven't been seeing it during the daylight. Once we get to closer to summer, it'll be lit. I mean, even during our normal ride time, we'll have a lot more light than we've had the last couple months. Yeah, these bridges, I don't know why they don't fix them.
Cat.cs2 says it's a nice bridge even though you call it the loudest law.
It is the loudest. It's not a nice bridge.
Jones 5862 says, I like the Great Watch series. You have implemented the Great Decoration Watch, the Great Glove Watch, etc.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought about that. After I titled it, I was like, oh, there's a theme here. You know what? It's snowing up here. I'm surprised. We've actually got some snow coming down.
Jones 5862 says it's different.
Sort of like a flurry. It's not really. It's far from a whiteout. Sean's up there in Boston with a whiteout. Flakes flying around.
Team C says you need to find an abandoned watch so we can have a great watch next time.
We'll have to find a watch lane somewhere. Watch. thought the snow was over. I thought it was going to get clearer and clearer as the day went on. They are still having it up here.
6448 says, is it actually snowing or just blowing around the already fallen snow?
No, this is, I know, I was thinking that at first when I saw it, but this is actually snowing. It's coming down from the sky. This isn't previously landed snow. This is unlanded snow. Wow, it's a big slab of salt in the middle of the road. We got a sheriff up here. And between the road, the mist off of people's tires, and this wet snow, the windshield is taking a beating. Because if you have a light, fluffy snow, you can drive around without the windshield wipers on and just fly over your windshield. I like that kind of snow.
6448 says you need a 24-hour watch cam focused on the decorations house.
Week, yeah. I don't know. I asked the folks at the bakery if they know whether he puts Easter decorations up, and they think maybe he does. They weren't sure though. But I think that would be a significant question. I don't think people put Easter decorations up, but it is something to think about. Because we're like, what, a month and a half away from Easter. A little over a month. Black truck really did not want to be behind me.
Horse says late joining. Good morning, Craig and chat.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the van.
6448 says when I see homes with Christmas decorations up after a certain time I start to think maybe someone got sick or something. At Reed Jones 5862 says hi Teal Horse.
Yeah, that I can see why you would think that. I think this guy is known for taking a while.
Horse says Reed Jones.
I think this house is well known for taking their decorations down.
Justicat.cs2 says hi good morning at Teal Horse.
Deputy sheriff. Here we go, our third delivery.
Team C says hello at Teal Horse. Paula6448 says hello at Keelhorse. At Susaner207 says well he will eventually have to mow the lawn, or will he just weed whack around the decorations?
I would think
At
he'll...
Drivingdaily582 says yo.
Yo. I think he will take down the decorations before he has to weed whack around them, because that would be nuts. He's literally got hundreds. Well, maybe not hundreds. More than 100, though, I think.
Lot777 says you.
You. It's a yo. She says you. I say yo. All right, let me call.
Jones5862 says what's up John, did you get enough rest? At Hollis6448 says true Susaner. At Faithfulot777 says I know some people leave them up all year long. At Tealhorse says just a cat. Mookie, Holla. At DrivenDaily582 says I hope so read. At Hollis6448 says good morning John. At justacat.cs2 says yo John.
YouTube. All right, I'm going to call these folks. Get this door opened up. What a day. What a day.
Morning, What a Day Cafe.
Hey, it's Craig with the bakery. I'm out back.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there.
Thank you.
Hollis6448 says I haven't taken my tree down yet. Maybe soon.
I haven't taken my tree down yet. All right, I'm going to head over there to the door. Hold on.
Daily582 says what's up Holla. Sawyer, Tealhorse-based pilot.
Oh.
Starting to get worried.
No, we had a couple of them were opening late. Did you open late?
We opened late.
Yeah.
We opened at like 8.
Oh, 8 o'clock?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're good. We're good. Right. I need snow tires on this cart. Let me ask him where the glove is. No, I'm not either. Good morning. How are you doing?
All right, thanks.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Keep C says Craig is efficient and friendly. A good combination. At Hala6448 says never liked coffee. Hala6448 says it's true. He is a true asset to the bakery. At justacat.cs2 says yeah the regular good coffee, not that decaf junk lol. At Nigel333 says so you need delivery insurance on vehicle to DoorDash. Not just regular it's saying. At Nigel333 says hi Hala and Mookie. Hala6448 says do you prefer a certain brand or any is fine just a cat. Wiggle says good morning everyone. Hala6448 says hello at Nigel. C says hello you at Nigel333. Are you still out delivering?
I am. I've just made my last delivery, so we're just headed back now.
Hala6448 says good morning at Jovigal. At justacat.cs2 says at Hala6448 I prefer the free coffee pods I take from my brother's house.
Trickiest thing about this spot is you got to make sure you don't back into somebody that's sitting at the drive-thru. Okie dokie. Wow, that's an unusual way to approach the drive-thru. All right, so we get that. Dun, 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 dun. I think they got a little bit more snow up here. It's kind of weird that it was snowing when we got here.
Jovigal says good morning at Hala6448. At Nigel333 says nope an agreement came up so I read it and it says I need another insurance on vehicle or it's a breach of contract so I'm waiting just got home. Daily 582 hi Jovi Gal.
Jovi Gal is in the van. Everybody make sure you got your seatbelts on.
Hala6448 says that's funny I was very tempted to take some from the hotel I was at last week just to see if I still don't like coffee. At Driven Daily 582 says hi NY. At Reed Jones 5862 says morning Jovi.
Who doesn't like coffee? Somebody doesn't like coffee.
333 says need to have commercial business use added to insurance policy. At Reed Jones 5862 says hi Nigel. At Jovigal says hi driving daily 582. At Nigel333 says driving good morning. Craig how many deliveries today? At Hollis 6448 says
three.
me. I never like
We
it.
had 3 deliveries. And the one in the middle,
Obigal says I don't like coffee, but I hadn't said it.
the one in the middle, so there are 3 establishments we went to,
says Craig.
and the one in the
Paula
middle
and MC doesn't like
was
coffee.
opening later. So it kind of slowed everybody up a little bit. Well, they all opened up a little late, but the one in the middle was, look, this is pretty crazy looking. I think this is cool with the white. I mean, yeah, I definitely got to make a short of this. You know, you put this with the right music and you're going to sit back and watch as nature sucks you in. Right now, Susan in Australia would be able to say something that would just have us.
Daily 582 says it could be that Mookie need to activate the heating feature. King C says we are back. At Consumetha Goodness says he 902. I win.
Yeah, but what? That's stupid looking, right? What the hell?
Cat.cs2 says we're upside down, Craig. At Consumetha Goodness says I said
I
in the
know.
chat. At Driven
Oh,
Daily
here we go, here we
582
go.
says Kendra called it. At Hollis 6448 says Kendra, exactly 902, you're amazing.
Are you? I heard all your
At Rita
stuff.
Jones 5862 says lol.
I didn't know how to stop the phone. Basically, you just like. All right, so you guys can see me
King
now,
C
right?
says Kendra is always right.
That is not a Starlink problem. That's a phone problem. I don't know what that is. It's crazy. All right, let me get back on the road here. You guys can see now, right?
Cat.cs2 says wow, Kendra. At Driven Daily 582 says looks good now. At Mooking C says we see and hear.
So
At
there's.
Hollis 6448 says yes, we can see and hear ya.
I think I got to do something about my phone. That's not Starlink. Because I could hear you guys, and everything's working right. It's something to do with my phone.
Jones 5862 says Kendra a psychic smiley face.
I think it's that thing John does. John, you got to tell me, what do you do when your phone acts up like that? Like when you say restart, what do
He says my phone does that too. Did you restart to get back? At Driven Daily 582 says I restart my phone. At Consumetha Goodness says I almost added a beat to you repeating the word, all, lol.
No, but I mean, when you say restart, how do you do, like, I think I just restarted it, but I did like 3 or 4 different things. I don't know. When you say restart your phone, what do you mean? What do you do? And you don't have to tell me now, but I'm just curious about that part. Because this has happened to me a couple of times now, and it never happened before. So I think it has to do with the YouTube app. Because that never happened to me when I was using Prism.
Daily 582 says I literally restart it.
You basically turn off your phone. Oh, like the actual phone, not the app. You just restart your phone. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. And that is one of the things that I did. I heard you guys talking about not being able to see it. I'm like, oh. Yeah, that's
Daily 582 says then re-enter the YouTube AP. Click on plus button, then resume live stream.
right.
At Hollis 6448 says but doesn't that end the stream?
No, it doesn't.
At Mooking C says hold down the power button and select restart.
Yeah, that's what I did. That is what I did. So I think I did it. Even though I didn't know what I was doing, I did end up doing the right thing. But yeah, it doesn't end the stream. I guess sometimes it might, but you can do it in a way that it doesn't, which is kind of good. Well, at least I know how to fix that now, but I don't like that happens.
Daily 582 says you've learned the secret.
I have. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. I mean, I did like 3 things, so unless you just told me that, I wouldn't have known which one was the right thing. And then it looked weird when I came back. But anyway, we saved it. How long was I off? Like a long time? There goes like half of my trip through the...
+648 says my lives still go to private automatically. I don't know why.
Yeah, mine do too. Mine do too. Now that I use them, they didn't, but the YouTube app, they automatically go to private. So what I do is as soon as I end it,
Samantha Goodness says interesting.
as soon as I end it, I click on the 3, like you'll see the list of your live streams. I hit the 3 dots and I say edit, and I change it to public right away.
+6448 says, but how do you post them so quickly?
That's what I do. I just do it right away. So as soon as I end the stream, I go into that, I hit the 3 dots on that video that opens, and then it'll say edit. I forget what the other option is, but I hit edit, and then I go in and change it to public. And I do that as soon as I close it, so it's like there's no gap.
Samantha Goodness says you should be able to set it as public during setup.
I know. Well, it is set as public. And when I was using Prism, it automatically stayed public. But I looked. I couldn't find an option in the YouTube app that said, remain public. It just automatically changes it. I don't know why. And I don't know why it
At Consummate
didn't
Goodness
change
says,
it.
why does she say my dang name like that? Haha. At Consummate Goodness says, that's so interesting.
She does say your name a little weird. I have to get used to the way she says some names because it is kind of weird. I think I might try to slow her down. You can adjust the speed of her talking. Imagine if you could do this with people. Like, have you ever heard somebody like Ben Shapiro talk? You need to adjust that, slow it down. But I might do that and see if she...
Daily 582 says, consume at the goodness. At Holla 6448 says, going to the YouTube page where the video is sent after.
I end it, and I hit the window and it says something like, are you ending the stream? Okay.
Samantha Goodness says, haha, John.
And then there's a list of videos, and this one is sitting at the top, and it just says, there's no thumbnail or anything, it just says processing. And so I click on the 3 dots. I'll try to see if I can get a screenshot of it. Today when I shut down, I'll try to get a screenshot of it and see if I could capture it that way. Because I hit the 3 dots, and then, like I said, I go into... Because, yeah, otherwise you have to wait. Well, unless you get on a computer. You could get on a computer, probably, in your studio, and go in the back way like that and probably change it. You shouldn't have to wait till it's done processing, though.
+6448 says, thank you.
Yeah, let me know if you need... I will try to take some screenshots of that, because it is... Whoa, we're having a snowstorm in the middle of the trees. I did see a car this morning that drove straight into a telephone pole on my way to the bakery. Like, even though that road that I take has very few turns on it, the one that it does have, the guy must have been going too fast. Straight to the telephone pole. I mean, I don't think he was going that fast. We're coming up on the Christmas tree house pretty soon. I've got to get my other phone set up so that I'm actually watching the stream. I tried to do that the other day, so that I could see if it freezes. But that phone is the one that I use for the text to speech. And I don't know how to adjust the volume on my YouTube and not adjust and have it separate to the text to speech. In other words, if I turn the volume down on the phone so that I don't hear the YouTube.
+6448 says, imagine if it was decorated already.
Now that would be...
At Driven Daily 582 says, you can use an old junk phone, what I do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm up to 3 phones already. So I've got to kind of figure out how to consolidate a couple of them. I've got one for music, one for text to speech, one for... I wish you could have another app open in that phone, but you really can't, because if something goes on top of you, okay, nope, they're still there. Christmas decorations are still there. Here we go. There's nobody behind me. There you go. So, still there, still there, still there.
Nigel333 says, plans for today. At Nigel333 says, my tree has been up for 3 years now.
You've never taken it down?
At Driven Daily 582 says, they love Christmas.
Yeah, they do. But they do it for Halloween too. Like, they have a lot of stuff out for Halloween.
333 says, nope, it's been up a year. I bought this place LMAO. Samantha Goodness says, haha, NYGAL.
I was watching somebody talk about Christmas decorations recently, and they...
+6448 says, oh, car in the driveway, could be a hint if they clear the car. At Nigel333 says, haha, I'll post a pic LMFAO right now. At justacat.cs2 says, is it a fake Christmas tree? 3 years is a long time.
That is a long time.
At Nigel333 says, it's behind a wall so you can see it unless you walk fully in the room.
So do you have to dust it? Like, after a certain amount of time, do you have to, like, how do you dust a Christmas tree? Like, I would think you'd have to do, like, some kind of blower. This section of the road here gets very slippery because the wind blows it across the road. This gets people to wipe out sometimes. Oh, look, I think I see horses up here or something. I see animals on the right-hand side. Animals on the right. Animals on the right.
Ways Double Hazy says, no dusting. It makes it look like snow. At Hollis6448 says, I thought I was bad for not taking my down for this year. At Nigel333
Yeah.
says, just posted pic on community tab and turned on the lights LMAO. At Nigel333 says, hi goodness.
Oh, look, we have horses today. I haven't seen the horses.
Plus 6448 says it is the year of the horse.
It is the year of the horse. Check this out. We got horses.
Michael 333 says I just did
Hey guys,
dishes
what's
now
up?
making barbecue chicken and
What's going
potatoes
on?
in the crock pot.
How's it going? What's up? Oh, I have not
At
seen them.
Faithfulot777 says lol. At Consummate Goodness says beautiful.
You're the horse. Right there. I haven't seen them in that field before. Must have come out for the snow.
Sticat.cs2 says ah horses. I'm never going to get ready in time for work. Lol.
No, you're going to be late
At
again.
Hollis6448 says just hanging out horsing around. At Reed Jones 5862 says sounds delicious Nigel. At Nigel 333 says I'll post pics I am sure LMAO. At Mooking C says did those horses give you the cold shoulder? At Nigel
No, they were
333
looking
says
at me.
everyone is invited for dinner.
They were actually, I think, I mean, I couldn't get out of the van, but they looked over. I connected with them. I mean, I had eye
Says
contact.
see the pic Craig.
I had eye contact with one. I will look at the pic when I get back to the when I get out of the van. I will check that out.
Plus 6448 says you should do a vertical of the horses in the snow. People love that stuff.
They do. I could probably do a short.
Jones 5862 says Craig the horse whisperer.
Maybe that horse was wearing the gloves.
Pilot 777 says you will have a heart attack when you come across at the horse that talks back.
Remember Mr. Ed? Does anybody remember that show? The Talking Horse? That was a long time ago. You guys probably don't even know. You don't Mr. Ed.
Sticat.cs2 says don't that pumpkin. Lol.
I can't think of the theme song for Mr. Ed, though. Otherwise, I would sing it right now. It was very famous. I mean, it was like a very catchy tune. Something about a horse. Obviously. Okay, horse. I bet you could find it on YouTube. Mr.
C
Ed.
says a horse is a horse of
Horse, of course. Yes.
I remember Mr. Ed. At Nigel 333 says Mookie.
A horse is a horse. A horse is a horse. The horse is a horse. That's the horse. I don't know the words though. I mean, like now I've got the tune in my head, but I don't remember exactly how the words worked. I mean, the horse is a horse part, yes.
Or 8 says a horse is a horse of course, unless that horse is Mr. Ed.
That's the horse.
At Consummate the Goodness says he's always on a steady course something 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 lol.
The problem is our pumpkin does not. She can't carry a tune. She just reads it straight up. She does not. And you know, if you type, I think if you type small letters, LOL, she'll say lol. But if you type capital letters, LOL, she'll say LOL.
Sticat.cs2 says lol. At
See?
Hollis 6448 says something like because Mr. Ed is a talking horse.
Look, this road is not really cleared very well. I was thinking the other day. We're about
King
to.
C says Rosie is not known for her singing ability.
All right, this is where we drop for a second. Just a second.
Craycray says you have a lot more. Still, a lot melted here. At Hollis6448 says don't be critical of Pumpkin, she is sensitive. At Consumethedness says a horse is a horse of course, and no one can talk to a horse of course that is of course unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed.
That's it. That is it. Did you just clip the lyrics from someplace, or did you know that in your head? I'm impressed if you did. Because I
King
could.
C says we made it through the gauntlet.
We did. Yeah. That whole thing where we freeze forever, that's not a Starlink problem. That's a YouTube app problem. We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna figure it out.
At Consumethedness says yeah, she needs some singing lessons. Tone deaf for sure lol. At Cameron Please Double Hazy says copyright strike incoming.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Pumpkin. I think when Bob parked this morning, he parked in the spot that the vans usually park in. So I believe, well, maybe not. Whole new pile of snow here. Look, I'm surprised. Look at the snow next to the van. Hold on. It's like a huge mountain of snow. Like, that's crazy. They must have put all the snow from this parking lot in that one spot. Be there for like, well, I think it's going to get warmer later this week, so maybe it won't be there forever, but.
6448 says I refuse to say anything negative about Pumpkin. She's a thing.
She is a good
At
thing.
Cameron
I
Please
like her.
Double Hazy says climate. At Reed Jones 5862 says that's a big snow pile.
It is a big snow pile. It's pretty steep too. I mean, it's got sort of an Everest look to it. This is not something for the meek. You've got to be a climber to get.
King C says Mr. Ed was much better than my mother the car but not as good as car 54 where are you? At Consumethedness says are we going to start guessing when the snow mountain will be fully melted now?
No.
Haha. At Reed Jones 5862 says where's Sean and he can jump in that snow pile lol.
That could
At
be
Justicat.cs2
spot.
says snow slushy fight.
Yeah. Climbing snow piles is fun. All right, guys. So, good day. Good ride. Good ride. So I got to go in there, help them out a little bit. I'm pretty sure the guy that usually comes in on Mondays is not going to be in today. So I'm probably going to be.
Boys Double Hazy says I hear there's a glove at the top. At Teal Horse says at Reed Jones that is exactly what I thinking.
No, it's not there. It's gone. It's gone forever. But anyway, all right. Well, thank you all for riding along today. That was fun. It's kind of neat when you're out here when everybody's awake. But what is today? Today's Monday. So tomorrow's Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Be back on the road. Normal time. It's a quick one. But yeah. So thank you. Thank you all for joining. And I'll see y'all later. Now I'm leaving.
King C says thanks for the ride. Have a good Monday, everyone.
You too, guys.
At night.